Today we have significant updates from around the globe, including the killing of a notorious gang leader and ongoing peace talks between the U.S. and Iran. Additionally, we will discuss the alarming rise of Ebola cases in the Democratic Republic of the Congo. Here are today's top 10 stories you need to know. In a powerful statement, Pope Francis condemned the actions of migrant traffickers, calling for urgent action to address the humanitarian crisis affecting millions. The Pope emphasized the need for compassion and protection for vulnerable populations seeking a better life. His remarks come amid rising global migration and increasingly perilous journeys faced by migrants. The Catholic Church has been actively involved in advocating for migrants' rights, and the Pope's words resonate deeply with ongoing efforts to combat trafficking networks. He urged global leaders to prioritize humanitarian solutions and to provide safe pathways for migration. This message highlights the moral imperative to protect those fleeing violence and poverty. As discussions around migration policy continue, the Pope's call to action may influence how governments approach the issue. Going forward, the focus will be on international cooperation to address the root causes of migration and trafficking. The European Union has announced a substantial investment in ocean monitoring initiatives, even as the United States is reducing its funding in this critical area. The EU's commitment to ocean health reflects growing concerns over climate change and its impact on marine ecosystems. With rising sea levels and increasing pollution, the need for effective monitoring has never been more urgent. The EU's investment aims to enhance data collection and improve responses to environmental challenges. In contrast, the U.S. decision to cut funding has raised concerns among environmental advocates. They argue that consistent monitoring is essential for global efforts to combat climate change. This divergence in funding priorities may lead to differing approaches to ocean conservation on both sides of the Atlantic. As the EU moves forward with its investment plans, the focus will be on collaboration with international partners to address pressing oceanic issues. A new report from Europol has raised alarms regarding the recruitment of children into criminal organizations at an industrial scale. This concerning trend highlights the vulnerability of youth in various regions across Europe. Criminal gangs are increasingly targeting children, luring them with promises of money and power. The report details the methods used by these organizations to exploit young people, emphasizing the need for urgent intervention. Law enforcement agencies are being urged to implement preventative measures to protect children from exploitation. This issue is not only a law enforcement challenge, but also a humanitarian crisis. As communities grapple with the implications of this trend, there is a pressing need for collaborative efforts among governments, NGOs, and social services. Looking ahead, the focus will be on raising awareness and developing effective strategies to combat child recruitment into crime. In a shocking incident off the coast of Australia, a woman was critically injured in a shark attack while swimming in a popular beach area known for its vibrant marine life. The attack occurred during peak hours, prompting immediate emergency response from lifeguards and medical personnel who quickly rushed to assist the victim. Witnesses reported seeing the shark before the incident, leading to heightened fears and anxiety among other beachgoers. Authorities swiftly closed the beach to ensure public safety and launched an investigation into the circumstances surrounding the attack. This incident underscores the ongoing risks associated with marine life encounters along the Australian coastline, a region known for its diverse aquatic species. Shark attacks, while statistically rare, have profound implications for local coastal communities and the tourism industry. Following the incident, local officials are emphasizing the importance of beach safety awareness and protocols. Experts will analyze the attack's circumstances to better understand shark behavior, aiming to improve safety measures for swimmers in the future. A tragic incident occurred in Assam, India, where an Indian Air Force transport aircraft crashed, claiming the lives of 5 personnel on board. The aircraft was reportedly on a routine mission when it encountered difficulties, sparking immediate concern among defense officials. Eyewitnesses described seeing the plane descend rapidly before it went down in a remote area, highlighting the urgency of the situation. Rescue teams have been deployed to the crash site where recovery operations are ongoing, emphasizing the challenging terrain of the region. Investigations into the cause of the crash are underway, with preliminary reports suggesting potential mechanical failure, raising alarms about the maintenance protocols in place. The Indian Air Force expressed deep condolences to the families of the victims, acknowledging the profound loss to the military community. This tragedy raises critical questions about aviation safety and operational procedures within the military. In the coming days, we can expect detailed updates on the investigation and potential reforms aimed at preventing similar incidents in the future. The Democratic Republic of the Congo is currently facing a severe Ebola outbreak, with confirmed cases surpassing 600. This alarming rise in infections has prompted urgent action from health officials who are battling not only the virus, but also the logistical challenges of reaching remote and conflict-affected regions. These areas often lack basic healthcare infrastructure, making it difficult to deliver essential medical aid and resources. The outbreak has drawn international attention, with organizations such as the World Health Organization mobilizing to provide support and expertise. However, fears of widespread transmission continue to loom large, fueled by misinformation and public anxiety about the disease. In response, the Congolese government is implementing emergency measures aimed at educating communities about prevention and improving response strategies. This outbreak underscores the critical need for enhanced healthcare systems in the DRC to better manage future health crises. Moving forward, health experts are focused on strengthening local healthcare capabilities and ensuring rapid response mechanisms are in place to mitigate the impact of Ebola and save lives. The European Union has announced plans to commence membership talks with Ukraine next week, marking a historic moment in EU expansion. This decision follows Ukraine's application for candidacy amidst ongoing conflicts with Russia, which have intensified since 2014. The EU's move underscores its commitment to supporting Ukraine's sovereignty and democratic aspirations, particularly in light of Russia's aggressive actions. Ukrainian officials have expressed optimism, viewing EU membership as a pathway to greater security and economic stability, which could help rebuild the war-torn nation. However, the process is expected to be lengthy and complex, requiring substantial reforms within Ukraine's political and economic systems. The geopolitical implications of this decision are significant, as it could further isolate Russia in the region and potentially lead to increased tensions. Analysts suggest that the membership talks may bolster Ukraine's position in the ongoing conflict, giving it leverage against Russian aggression. As the EU prepares for these discussions, the focus will be on Ukraine's readiness and the potential for a more secure and unified Europe in the face of external threats. U.S. officials are continuing negotiations with Iran aimed at finalizing a peace agreement to stabilize the Middle East. Recent reports indicate that both sides are discussing a final, agreed-upon text, marking a significant development after years of heightened tensions, particularly regarding Iran's controversial nuclear program. The backdrop of these talks includes a history of sanctions and military confrontations, which have deeply affected regional stability and U.S. foreign policy. A successful agreement could not only reshape U.S.-Iran relations, but also influence the dynamics between Iran and its neighbors, potentially reducing hostilities and fostering a more diplomatic environment. However, analysts express caution, noting that previous negotiations have often collapsed due to mistrust and differing priorities. Global powers are closely monitoring the situation, recognizing that the success of these discussions will likely depend on mutual concessions and effective trust-building measures. The potential outcome of these talks could redefine geopolitical alliances in the Middle East, with significant implications for trade and security. As negotiations progress, the focus will be on whether both parties can navigate their historical grievances to achieve lasting peace. Authorities in Toronto are currently engaged in a manhunt following a shooting incident outside the American Consulate that resulted in the tragic death of a police officer. This shocking event occurred in a prominent diplomatic area, raising significant security concerns across the city. Witnesses reported hearing multiple gunshots, which led to an immediate lockdown of the vicinity as law enforcement rushed to the scene. The police have released limited information regarding the shooter or potential motives, but they are treating the incident with the utmost seriousness. In light of this violence, security measures have been intensified around diplomatic missions throughout Toronto, reflecting the heightened risks faced by public officials. This tragic loss underscores the dangers inherent in law enforcement work, prompting the community to rally around the fallen officer's family during this difficult time. The incident raises broader questions about the safety of those who protect diplomatic entities and the public at large. Moving forward, authorities are expected to implement enhanced security protocols for all consulates and embassies in Toronto as they seek to prevent such incidents from occurring in the future. The focus will also include community engagement to bolster safety and resilience. In a significant military operation, a U.S. drone strike has reportedly killed the leader of the Tren de Aragua gang in Venezuela. This notorious group has been linked to various criminal activities across Latin America, including drug trafficking and violent crime. The Tren de Aragua, originally founded in the slums of Caracas, has been rapidly expanding its influence, establishing operations in countries such as Colombia, Ecuador, and Brazil. This expansion has raised alarms among regional governments as the gang's activities threaten to destabilize already fragile communities. The operation underscores the United States' commitment to combating organized crime that poses a threat to regional stability. However, experts warn that this strike may create a power vacuum, potentially leading to an escalation of violence as rival factions vie for control. In response, Venezuelan officials have condemned the U.S. action as an infringement on sovereignty, warning of severe repercussions for U.S.-Venezuela relations. Analysts suggest that this could ignite further confrontations between U.S. forces and Venezuelan authorities, complicating an already tense diplomatic landscape. Looking ahead, the focus will be on how this event shapes future U.S.-Latin America relations, particularly regarding counter-narcotics efforts, and whether it leads to an increased U.S. SMAR military presence in the region to deter further gang violence. Thank you for watching. Which story shocked you the most today? Please like, subscribe, and join us for more important news updates.